got so crazy over this yesterday, so I called my agent, and my agent, he's a very liberal, Democrat kind of guy.
Oh, yes.
I go, that's it.
You have to quit the Democratic Party?
He goes, what do you mean? I go, you know what, Don? I voted Republican and I voted Democrat. I have vowed I will never vote for a Democrat again. I don't give a f***.
No matter who they are?
No matter who they are. I don't care if God becomes a Democrat. I said I backed Hillary Clinton. I backed Al Gore. I backed John Kerry. I am done with them. And he goes, what happened? I go, the fact that these Democrats on the FCC are communists. They're for communism. They don't want to see companies. This is gang. But
I think that, Howard, people ask me, like, what do you think is going on, and what is the tension here? What's at stake? And there are many things, and I can be much more articulate than what I'm going to say. But ultimately, I do believe that this is an election that is about strength versus weakness.
Yeah.
And weakness as projected by someone who puts himself in front of the American people and does not have the strength to stand in defense of their needs, their dreams, their desires, the work that must happen to make sure that we are a secure nation, that we are nurturing and protecting our alliances around the world, that we are supporting America's military, that we are fighting to bring the cost of living down for working families, that we are building businesses, building growth.
If he wins, God forbid, would you feel safe in this country? Would you stay in this country?
Howard, I'm doing everything I can to make sure he does not win.
What are these guys up to with mispronouncing your name? They act as if they can't.
Oh my God.
Say Kamala. Is it supposed to be an insult? Is it like Barack Hussein Obama? Is it some sort of
the same
slur?
Old tired playbook.
We're going to be playing Black Jeopardy. The brothers were complaining about the prizes. They said they didn't want fried chicken from Roy Rogers. They said they get enough fried chicken.
Here tonight, so it's all right. Ain't that right, you smelly?
I didn't write that.
Well, you is a smelly.
The Honorable Clarence Thomas.
Oh, Oonga Boonga. The black people are against me because they say that I'm not a real black man. I'm the one going to get lynched. Let me tell you something. We're going to be in trouble with the NAANP, the ECOC, and the EIEIOs. Well, I just love to smoke reefer.
Not gonna like
Oh boy.
that on these airways.
Got to love it, man. He's back. Not holding back. Being himself. Calling it for what it is. This is my president, y'all. Beta male harvester made a fool of himself on his low-rated radio show when he interviewed lying Kamala Harris and hit her with so many softballs that even she was embarrassed. He looked like a real fool, working so hard to make a totally incompetent and ill-equipped person look as good as possible, which wasn't very good. I dropped Howard a long time ago, like most others, and have since been credited with very good judgment. MAGA 2024, Make America Great Again 2024. Yeah.
Meanwhile, the vice president must have gotten the memo.
This is incredible.
Because she has not done almost any interviews, no press conferences. Now, even since the debate, now all of a sudden you see her on The View, you see her on Howard Stern, Stephen Colbert, and did 60 Minutes, and did some 20-something podcast the other day, which is a raunchy sex podcast that even some college students thought that should not be where a future president or a candidate
Howard
should
Stern?
go.
Is he still like that?
Right. Sometimes. But, the people are trotting out some of his past stuff from him wearing blackface and doing all these things because now he's so politically correct. But one thing I noticed, there's only one candidate there's been only one candidate who is the subject of 2 assassination attempts, and it was President Trump. But yet, the question of safety came up yesterday.
Yeah, here's Howard Stern asking Kamala Harris if she feels safe if Trump wins. Watch.
Let me ask you this. If he wins, God forbid, would you feel safe in this country? Would you stay in this country?
Howard, I'm doing everything I can to make sure he does not win.
What type of question is that?
Well, we've heard for a very long time from the couch for decades, actually, if so-and-so wins, I'm moving to Canada. I'm moving to France. We've heard that a million times.
And they never do.
And so he asked the question, I mean, how many times do we hear some A-list celebrities going to move to France?
Right.
They never moved. It's a good question, but once again,
Not that anyone
had
cares
no
if they
good
do.
answer.
Right. Also, do average day Americans feel safe in their communities right now? I mean, crime is out of control. You got Trinidad that's on the run right now. They're taking over neighborhoods right now. You got people, violent crime, DAs releasing people, and you're concerned about the vice president safety protected by Secret Service. By the way, there hasn't been 2 assassins to come after her as well. It's just a stupid question.
I hope there never is. I hope there never is. But yeah.
Yes.
And then she didn't answer the question. Are you going to leave the country?
Just a yes or no. I want to hear some yes and no answers.
He kissed her ass to the point where she was embarrassed. I mean, even the View came off like 60 Minutes compared to what Howard Stern did. He talked the whole time. Yeah. She gave I listened to the whole thing, 1 or 2 word answers, and then he would come up with another topic to say how bad Trump is. And he's like, okay.
Just a big commercial.
Brian, we expected that.
Is Brian going to have to put a quarter in the cuss jar?
Yeah.
Right. It's unbelievable. So, I mean, such a letdown because he used to have raucous interviews, and they used to be interesting. And if you were a well-rounded person who was self-effacing, you could really shine.
Steve, did he disappoint you? Because yesterday you said, I
hope he did.
You hope that
he didn't ask the hard questions.
We knew they weren't. The View, hard questions either.
Well, I knew the View wasn't. Anyway.
I think it shows she's trailing. For her to do this, you don't do this if you're winning.
Yep.
Well, our view from right here is we look over there, and there's Carly.